Those are primal needs. They're deeply, deeply wired. That's what makes us animals. You can make things sound like a question, but then you embed a suggestion. Well, let me know if enrolling into this training now is a good time for you. Sounds like normal question, right? But if we have a conversation that was maybe few minutes, I could implement this word now and exaggerate in some way. It can be very subtle, overall nod every time, or make it a little more firm, or the opposite, make it really soft. And I'll repeat it a few times, 4 maybe times, 3, 4, 5. In a matter of 5 minutes, I'm embedding now a few times. Obviously, remember intention in the goal. You want to just sell your service, or you want to sell it to a person who will benefit from it. Intention and the goal, that what makes it or break it. I was hired by a car dealership, and they tell me that before me, they had a, how did they say it, world renowned hypnotist. He trained them so well. They had 2 cases in court. Somebody sued them. Buyers sued because they were so good. They sold cars people didn't need. People didn't know what happened to them. So what is the intention? To sell cars or to provide service and help people choose the right product? You know, in sales, you can see it left and right. With courses, they flash in their videos. Money, beautiful woman. I made 5 million in sales and I can show you how to. And you will be the best. You will be number one in that field. And then you won't even have to work. It will happen on its own. It's easy. I'll show you how to do it easy. People lose their mind. Who are a bit smarter, of course, they're not going to buy in. But who will give in into those tactics? People who are maybe shouldn't be going into this field at all.
Speaking about tactics, I notice on Instagram and Facebook, people are now marketing through credibility, showing pictures of how much they've made in their Etsy shop, showing graphs or a bank statement as a form of like, this is what I've done in only 3 months or 6 months. Last year, I was broke. Can you talk more?
Made up, made up. If it's real, why would I show complete strangers on internet my bank account?
Because then they're selling a program for only $37 where I can learn too how to be like them, just like they did a year ago. They found someone on this is a very I've been scrolling looking at tactics, and this is the most common approach. What other what more
So,
ethical or maybe sinister approaches that you're going to talk about?
okay, I'm gonna tell you the buttons we can push. And it's very hard to resist, really, for any of us, no matter how smart you are, how aware of you are. Those are primal needs, safety, shelter, resources in general, therefore money. This is primal need, food, primal need. Resources, let's generalize it. This is resources. Second primal need, being included. It's crucial for our survival, even though now we may not admit it. I don't need anybody. I got everything, internet, but without other people, would you have internet? Would you have a house to live in? We think we're so independent and we don't, we still do, but imagine how deep it is in DNA when it was so crucial for every day of our life to be included into a community, being accepted. If you're expelled from a tribe, you're gone. You're not gonna survive for a long time. At the same level, being included, but at the same time, we want to be better than anyone else. So that is tribal conditioning. We want to be accepted, but at the same time, we want to feel dominant in some way. In some way, I am more special than anyone. In some way, I am stronger. I am standing out in some way. So there's a second button. Third button is two wired on DNA level. Propagate humankind, our lineage, continue our life on Earth. So therefore, sex, being liked, being admired, may not come in a form of, straightforward sex. I need to pair up with somebody and make children. People might be completely out of that age. Can be little kids, they cannot make babies yet. They don't understand the concept of marriage or having sex or having children, but it's still wired. It still will affect them. And also, okay, I'm not in the age I can have babies. Well, actually I do, but shouldn't at that age already. So it shouldn't affect me, but there are other angles. I still want to be seen as a woman, even if I cannot get pregnant, for example. I still want to be, admired by a man in my life. I want to be seen attractive, right? So that third part, sex and admiration in some way, in some way. So those are primal needs. They're deeply, deeply wired. That's what makes us animals, really. How many sales copies have you read? Well, do you want to be the best in your field? Do you want to stand out? You can be the best healer. We can do an example. Who'd like to volunteer? Maruta, you want to?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Maslow is a genius. This hierarchy, Maslow's hierarchy, it shakes my head at how nothing changes over time. We're still
Yeah,
ant.
nothing changes. Nothing changes. We think we're evolved. Okay, I have a sheet here. I took notes last night for one of my classes I'm planning. I know you're not going to be able to see it, Maruta, but I know that you need it. I can sell it to you for $100 because I know this is great value for you. Nobody else will give you because it has information that will help you to build your business and make more money. So what I want you to do, actually, don't afraid, I'm not going to sell you that. Like, feel safe enough. What I want you to do is to pay attention to what's happening with your body and the subtle shifts in your thinking. And then you share with us, okay? This sheet, just for $100. I mean, what's $100? It's nothing really. For amount of value it contains here. By getting your hands on this information, you can build your business without slaving. You don't need to work every day, just maybe a couple of hours per week. Easy. But you'll make so much money. My other client bought it, and they making now millions without working hard. That helps them to stand out as a coach. They're the most wanted coach now. People lined up to see them. They're famous. Anyway, he goes, clients everywhere, but women line up to him. He's the most wanted bachelor now. Imagine what you can do with this information. Money, you don't need to work hard. You're the best in your field. You can just relax, take care of yourself, pamper yourself, find the mate you need, build your family while this business runs itself in the background, making you millions. So tell us what's going on.
As much as my mind says It starts
Bullshit.
analyzing it. Thankfully, because I've attended enough classes, I felt this kind of fantasy aura starting to build around me. And then my mind's telling me this, but there's like this aura of like fantasy and then the millions. And then if I learn it, then I can sell it and make even more millions. Like this kind of exclusivity where now that I've captured the secret and now I can be just like you. And just like, and I admire, and already I have a subtle admiration for you. So it's almost like, but in my head, I'm like, but it's almost like this bubble's being built and I'm not even building it. It's just that. And I'm just like, uh-oh. And it's becoming bigger than my mind. Like
The
the
longer
bubble.
I talk, the longer you marinate yourself in it. Yeah? The
Mm-hmm.
more, the less resistance you have. And now again, withdraw. Maruta, you know what? Because I know you so well now, we kind of pals. I mean, since November, right? Or October, I know you. You're not like everyone else. You're smarter than anyone in this group. I can give it to you just for $50. I'll send you a private message tonight. What happened? Did you see the changes in the face?
I felt like I was special, that you saw me and that you were recognizing me and rewarding me for all my hard work, because I have done hard. So it's just like, yeah, I would have sent you the money, even if I'd sent you the money.
Do you see how dangerous it is? How, even if you know all of it, we still buy into it. That's what makes us animals.
So
All
what's
the critical factor is gone.
so how do we create more discernment and body armor?
Celia, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add something. We've been talking about like the cult stuff because I've been a part of these like cells, big groups. Now imagine that in a big group of 100 people and all this noise and this big show being put on. And if you don't do it that weekend, then you're going to miss out. And you don't want to be that one in the 100 that misses out on it. So it like, I think amplifies those feelings that, Moretta was getting on the one-on-one with you in the group setting. I think that's how we get in these cult group things that sell us more stuff.
We can add all the other things, push buttons, scarcity. Maruta, this is only one. You see, it's handwritten. There are no copies. This is only one. But you have to get it today. You have 2 hours to get it. You see? Because there will be no more scarcity, urgency. So we can expand. I myself getting goosebumps.
Well, and I find a lot of the marketing, like this goddess, now it's all about squashing the patriarchy. So it's all this self-actualization. Follow your destiny. Be the person that you were born to be. It's your birthright. And for me, those can be some of the most irresistible, because I feel I've gone beyond the basics, but I still get, doesn't matter. I still get sucked in. Like,
Yeah. Why? I mean, if the product's good, right? Let's say courses, trainings, because this is what everybody's dealing with right now. That's what you can really look at right now. If the training is so good, why do I need to sign up for an hour one-to-one sales call? If it's so good, if you have all the social proofs and reviews.
then because usually it's 5 or 10,000. I notice when they want to call, it's because it's at 5 grand, at least 5 grand. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, but why do we need sales call? If it's if it's worth that much, why don't you put your price sticker? Because here you're on your own. Although I could push on every button, you're still on your own. Salesperson there to marinate you further, to push more buttons. Why they don't do it just on the video, like sales video on the website? Why do I need to get you to your private time and your attention This way, I can see what are your pain points. You will give me your buttons to push besides those universals you just gave us. I am beyond that. I'm evolved more. I've done so much work. Yeah, you're beyond all this, average crap. What's the next step? When you really embody that goddess. Yeah, yeah. So, and imagine this is a cumulative effect. I can build a rapport. I can feed you your own words, repeat endings of the sentences. In NLP coaching, in body language, they'll teach you to build rapport. Although, on the surface, who are not very skilled, they'll tell you, like, just, mirror the language and repeat their words. Then it's just mockery. Skillful people don't do this. It's very subtle. If you did this, I can maybe do just this and you won't notice. If I'll repeat exactly what you do in the way you do, you'll catch it within a couple of minutes. Like, what are you doing? Trying to manipulate me, or you're mocking me. This is stupid. So in more skillful, subtle way, repeating the words, not the whole sentences, not reframing what you say, just endings here and there a little bit, tiny bit. It's like with salt. You can put too much and the whole dish is ruined. You cannot fix it. It's wasted. But do it just enough, skillfully. Then now in conversation, I can recognize your predominant representation system. Agile, visual, kinesthetic. This is where it really matters. Although we all use all of them, one is predominant. If you try to figure out in interview the way hypnosis or coaching schools teach, or you send them a questionnaire to fill up, waste of time. You'll never get to the truth because now, well, I'm put on a spot, I have to perform something. I'm more likely to pretend something that I'm not, even unintentionally. I want to seem better and smarter. So all these answers are not going to be accurate. How do you recognize the system? In the way people speak, behave, dressed, appearance. It's on the face and the clothing. That's in the body. We're reading, I think maybe next section, I don't remember. Body language and reading. So you'll see, it's more in the detail. Well, who took ancestral trauma healing? It's there too. I copied it there because that's what we do when we do ancestral trauma healing protocol. We need to read people. So if you took that course, you already seen it. Okay.
Could you give us a quick example, like responding to Maruta, what she had said? Like she kind of said about, I resonate with the goddess stuff or that, like, how would you respond to that if you were having that conversation
Yeah,
with
I
her?
just did what a few minutes ago. Here, you're beyond all the savage stuff. I know you're ready for next step. Like, I know I can see by the way you carry yourself, the way you speak. I feel it. I feel it. My guide's telling me this. You're ready to embody the real goddess you are. So, okay, the VAK, it's called abbreviation VAK, VAK system, representational system, visual, agile, kinesthetic, easy to recognize. Is a person going for very conservative look? They may be wearing uniform of some type, or they picking clothes that resembles uniform. Agile, very analytical, logical type. Agile. Then how do you speak to those people? You refer to their logical, rational, because you're smart. I know you're very well aware. You're not that type that would make decisions without putting any thoughts into it. And also audio, what it tells us, whatever they hear matters the most, then we can use those words. You hear me. Listen to me now. I hear what you're telling me. So this way, person becomes more comfortable. They trust you more. Oh, you speak the same language. You understand me. They become more open. Visual, then they'll put more thought into the way they dress. They'll express themselves more with jewelry, unusual hairstyles, fashionable clothing, more makeup. Then you implement all those words. I see, or look at me, imagine, visualize. Those are all words for visual representative system. And then you would complement them on what matters to them, their look, their appearance, or imagination, because it's the same system. You seem so creative and imaginative, not like anybody else I've met before. So they drop in the shield. Kinesthetic, how do you recognize? Comfort is more important to them than the way they look. Pajamas, people walking through the Walmart. Pajamas, hoodies, soft things. Melanie, you're very, very kinesthetic because very often you join our Friday meetings in a robe, right?
I'm constantly in just like PJs robe, like my
Yeah,
neighbors can
yeah,
laugh 100 degrees outside and I'm bundled in a robe. I feel comfortable.
yeah,
I've got like 20 blankets. I love my blankies. Yeah.
yeah, kinesthetic. I feel you. If I was next to you, I'd give you a hug because I feel we're the same. We're like sisters, you know? So you use those words with our clients. They can trust more on us. They're more receptive to the work we now do with them. It will have stronger effect. You build in a rapport, they trust you, they open, therefore become more receptive to whatever you'll say, assuming with good intention. But it's used in sinister ways too. But how can you use maybe in regular life? You having a holiday party. Now you know what each person needs to feel more comfortable. How to talk to them. If you have them taking shoes off, if you have only one pair of extra slippers, who you will give it to? Audio, they won't know any difference. Visual, if it's not the latest fashion, they'll feel offended. You want to give it to kinesthetic, right? Don't bother with everybody else. The softest chair to kinesthetic. If you have one antique plate that you have to put on, put it next to visual person. They will appreciate it and nobody else will notice it.